Hello, I've decided to come inside again today where it's a bit warmer. I've not been feeling very well, so I don't want to aggravate any possible illness by being out in the cold. But what I'm going to do today is I'm going to start on making a few more designs of the steampunk lights that you've seen me working on lately. I've already had a go at cleaning up a bit of the copper piping. I didn't want to film doing that because really there's only one way to clean copper piping in it. I don't know, to me it always looked rude, so I did that off camera. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to start cutting up bits of copper piping and seeing where I can get with it. I guess the beauty of the style of thing I'm doing is it doesn't have to be perfectly measured. You can do it, oh, this is tight. You know, there's a lot of forgiveness, there's a lot of leeway, and oh, that was nice. And if it doesn't quite work how you want it, then you just cut another little bit of pipe and start again. So that's going to be the main body of this particular light I'm going to make. Just bear with me while I grab a couple of bits and I'll show you what I'm going to do. Right, okay, what I'm going to do with this lamp is, as you can see, they're only dry fit, so they're a bit loose. I've got a couple of corners, a T joint, and I've just fixed them together loosely for the time being with a couple of really small bits of just a standard copper pipe. I'm then going to fix them all together like so, obviously making sure they're all, you know, reasonably straight. And then off these I'm going to have a couple of the test tubes I showed you in a previous video, or I think I showed you them, but you know what test tubes are, so you're alright. So that's pretty much this design, or a design for this light. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to start cutting wire and getting it soldered together to make the lamp. What I've actually decided to do before I solder the wire is get the copper pipe parts stuck together. I'm not soldering them, I'm going to actually epoxy them together this time, I think, just because I fancy trying that. I suddenly realised that I won't be able to pass all the wires through, so I'm going to have to do it sort of bit by bit, get the wires of the LEDs passed through, and then extend the LED wires for as long as I need them. So I'm just going to spend a bit of time gluing the parts up, and I'll catch up with you shortly. Right, so what I've got done here is I've got this section, the copper piping, epoxied together, and as I mentioned earlier, on the top of the two elbow joints I will be epoxying in some, I can't think of my words this morning, sorry, test tubes. So I feel like I've now got to a point where the epoxy is dry enough for me continuing working, so now I think I'll be able to feed the wires through, and the leg of it, I suppose, will be, it'll be easy enough to feed the wires through that into the bottom. So that's my next step. Right, so as you can see, I've got both LEDs fed through. I've got to admit, it was a bit fiddly. I think the wires kept getting caught on the joints and stuff like that, but with a little bit of thinking, I managed to work out that if I just made a small hook out of the soldering wire, then I can just put the hook in, pull them out, and that worked really well. So I suppose once I've got this bit of piping threaded through, can now start to solder and extend wires. And just so I know which one's which, I've wrapped one of them together so I know which wire is which. So let me just reset and I'm going to start soldering. Right, here we go. I will say I've never actually soldered before, not like this anyway. You've seen me do it with the blowtorch, but I've never done it like this, so it's probably going to be a right mess. But we'll give it a go, and for some reason I can't stop blooming checking. So all you lot have done soldering before would have probably got these done by now. But we'll try it, we'll give it a go. And I think I've done it. Let me see. I don't know if you can see there, but it's not the prettiest, but I think I've done it. Right, on to the next one. Okay, what I've done is I've managed to get the wires all soldered up together, and I've added some heat shrink to each wire just to protect the joint a little bit more and stop them coming apart. So my next step is to get the two test tubes that I've showed you earlier. These will be either glued or epoxied in or something like that, and then this is hopefully the effect they'll give. Right, so there we have the last little bit done, all put together. I quite enjoyed making this. I really enjoyed the design of it. It was pretty easy to do. The soldering was a bit fiddly, I will admit. So there you have it. There's a little further update, another little piece made, and I hope you enjoyed watching it. Thanks to all my new subscribers and also to the ones that have been with me for a while. Really good of you to keep continuing to support me, and I will see you again in my next video. Thanks a lot. Bye for now.